If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript.
Hello, hello, and welcome. Hello!
Welcome, everyone.
And welcome, everyone, to another Descript Q&A with members of the support team. Today here, it's me, Trevor.
And Salvatore, another member of the support team.
We are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time for the Descript Q&A right here on YouTube. As we mentioned, we are members of the support team. And who is this for? Well, this is for anybody. Whether you are a new user that has some questions, you have never heard of Descript and stumbled upon this and are just curious what we're all about, we're here for you. And if you are a veteran user, but you have some questions, you can ask them here as well. This is to answer your questions live. And how do you ask a question? Well, on the right of the YouTube video, of the live video, you will see a chat box where we just asked our Descript chat person, which is also me today. We usually have someone else here, but it's just going to be the two of us hanging out with the chat. So just ask a question in there and we will answer your question live as best as we can. Some other resources for you, including this one. We have a help center and we'll pass along some links to that. This has all sorts of walkthroughs, tutorials, troubleshooting guides, and anything specific about features. We have other videos and past webinars on our YouTube channel. This session, as well as all of our other sessions, are recorded that you can revisit and watch after they are done. We also have our upcoming telethon, which we can talk about just a little bit later. This is happening Thursday and Friday, I believe from like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. both of these days, Pacific time. Please give that a watch at some point during it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a growing community on Discord, Reddit, and we have an official Facebook page. Please join those to talk to other Descript users and get some help, questions answered, or just talk about what you're working on. And all of our other live events, we have a calendar of events that will get posted in just a short while in the YouTube chat. But the big one coming up is that telethon. So I highly recommend booking that in your calendar, setting some time at work to have it on in the background and ask some questions, keep it open, all sorts of fun things. If you would like to get in touch with us directly, inside the app, there is a question mark icon at the top right, just like a question block in one of the Mario games. You just hit that, not with your head, with your pointer, with your mouse, and then press the contact support on the drop down, and you will get directed to one of us if you ask to. Otherwise, you'll get directed to an AI bot, and you can bypass that if you want by just saying human or person. Any sort of variation of that will get in touch with one of us to get your questions answered there. But as we mentioned, we are here to answer your questions live. So if you have questions, please post them in the chat and we will highlight them and cover them with a screen recording as best as we can to get those answered. And if we don't have questions, we have a few things that we can show you. We have a project that we can edit live in front of you. We'll just give that a second to see if any questions come up. How are you doing today, Salvatore?
I'm doing great. A little tired, but I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm ready. I'm ready for this telethon. I know it's going to be exciting. We're going to be on at some point. Some members of our team might be on as well. There's going to be a lot of wacky things happening, and then we'll be taking calls as well.
Yeah,
should
be chaos. So
it's going to be organized chaos. But we have a question here. Want to take this one? Question:
Yeah.
The ideal amount of time to edit a 1 hour online multicam 2 hour podcast or 2 people podcast?
That is a great question. There's a couple of ways we can attack that. So it really depends on your workflow. So we actually fortunately have a 2-person podcast that we can sort of demonstrate here. Let me pull up my demo screen here really quick. Okay. So we did this podcast recording not too long ago. It's not quite an hour long, but it's about 12 minutes. And let me just start from scratch here. And we recorded this in Rooms. So we do have a lot of AI tools to help speed up your workflow. If you're like me and like to do a hybrid of manual editing as well as using AI tools, it really just depends on how you want to edit. But in this example, I would start with basic script cleanup. So Descript is a script-based editor. So once you upload your 2 files, have them uploaded into your project, you'll have your transcript here available, and you can just get to editing. If there's something you don't like in the script, highlighting it and deleting it will remove that media. So I'm
doing okay.
So let's get rid of that section. Just highlight it like a Word doc and delete.
Today we're going to be talking.
So it gets rid of it. You can certainly spend your time doing that so you can have complete control, or you could use some of our AI tools to help speed up this process. If you go to the right here, we'll have this AI tools button, and you'll be greeted with a bunch of our tools here to help edit. So we have Studio Sound to help improve sound quality for speech-based recordings. We have Edit for Clarity, which is a great sort of general script cleanup tool. It removes filler words, digressions, blather, and any kind of repeated takes. We also have remove filler words. If you just want to get rid of filler words like that's a great one to start with. Remove retakes. So these are more individual editing tools. But yeah, let's start with something like Edit for Clarity. So this is just a raw 10-minute and 20-second recording. Let's just go ahead and click that. And from here, you'll have some parameters that you can adjust. Intensity, low, moderate, heavy. Let's just keep it at moderate. AI speech, if you want to toggle that on, I typically keep it off. It's if there's sections that Descript thinks that needs to be regenerated using an AI version of your voice, you can have that toggled on, but typically I just keep it off to keep it to strict editing. So we'll go ahead and click submit, and we'll see what we have here.
And I'd say that Edit for Clarity does what happens in other timeline editors when you're just editing and taking out the blather and taking out the ums and the uhs. This does it in what you pressed it and it took about 3 seconds to apply, less than that.
Mm-hmm.
That probably would take 30 minutes of time. I mean, you would have to listen through the entire project and go through it. and remove them. I mean, that's what I do sometimes, just because I like to have a little bit more control. It takes a long time. This will remove all of it. Or you can, as we can see, you can see all of the results that this brings up. So it has 91 results that it is telling us that we can apply all of them, or we can choose which ones we want to apply from here.
Yes, if you hover over an edit suggestion, you can accept the edit or discard it. And clicking done at the very bottom is just going to accept all of the changes. And like Trevor mentioned, it's always good practice to manually review the edits. So you can see in the script, there's these sections that are struck through. If you find that you want to keep something, luckily nothing is really destructive in Descript. So let's go ahead and play this section really quick for people to rent. And then we did end up getting, so if let's say I want to keep the section, if you just click on it, you can restore that really quick. Rent. And oh, that was me distracted by something. It was probably my dog walking into the frame. So let's just keep that out. So it's really as easy as that. And you'll just go through this and kind of, make sure that everything is what you like. But that in itself saves a bunch of time. We do have layouts that can help speed up your visual edits. So layouts are basically a way to add visual changes to your scenes, and scenes are what divides Descript's video projects. So right now, this entire edit only has one scene. I'll show you here at the top. It's just one scene. If I were to add another scene boundary here at the very end of whatever Trevor said, it's going to separate this into its own section. It doesn't do anything by itself, but now that this is segmented by itself, I can click on Trevor and make Trevor the focus for this scene and just get rid of me.
Descript Support episode 1 is fun.
You'll see when it ends, when the scene ends, it goes back to normal. So that's a powerful way to edit your visuals. But even quicker than that, we have Automatic Multicam, which will create scenes for you and switch angles of the speakers, especially for a multi-person podcast. This is really useful. So instead of manually creating scenes throughout your project, you can go to AI Tools, Automatic Multicam. And we have two options for this effect. We have Show Active Speaker Only or Automatic. I typically lean towards Automatic. It shows the occasional speaker reactions. It does a split view once in a while, so it's a great way to add some dynamics. Camera setup, this is important. Basically what it's doing, it's taking the speaker labels that's been identified in your script and attaching it to one of your video angles in your sequence. So Trevor is going to be attached to Trevor's video. My speaker label is attached to my video. And I'll just go ahead and click submit. And hopefully this doesn't take too long at all. All right. So if I zoom out or go to this scene overview, we call it storyboard view, you can see that Descript has made 82 new scenes for me. So it really depends. You can edit a video in as little as 5 minutes like I did, or you could really spend your time and get to the nitty and gritty,
I think for the ideal time, for me, it's like, depending how much you want to go into it, and if it requires you to watch through it just to make sure there isn't anything you want to take out for whatever reason, or if there's any blips in the audio or anything like that. If you have to watch it, I like to say at least twice the length of the video or the audio file that you're editing. That way it will take that amount of time to watch everything, and then to apply the edits, it only takes twice as long to do everything. Because the amount of edits that we did took like 5 minutes. Yeah. And this is a 10-minute video. So like you can kind of scale that up. It would only take 10 minutes for an hour long, maybe even less, just because these edits are about the same length. Automatic Multicam, removing filler words, edit for clarity, regardless of the length of the video, it'll take around that long. Very short. It's just if you need to watch everything, how long?
Yeah, that is a great question.
Definitely a great question. A little bit more of a sort of workflow question based on depending on how you work on things.
Yeah, I like to think of these tools more for broad strokes. So just doing huge edits at once and then getting into it and manually reviewing everything just to make sure it's just right.
Awesome.
Yeah, great question.
That was that question. Oh, here we got another question from the same user. Descript multicam settings and workflow from Zoom versus Rooms. That's a great question because this was a Rooms recording.
Yes.
So the question about Zoom, we can talk about that if you want to talk about the Zoom integration. Do you have any Zoom recordings?
I do.
Available?
Yes, I will pull that up really quick. The first sort of the biggest difference between Rooms and Zoom is Rooms gives you an individual video file for each participant in your recording. So for example, in this project that we recorded in Rooms, if I head to my project tab, you'll see the raw recordings that were imported from that session. So it has a raw file for me and then a raw file for Trevor. So that makes editing really flexible. It allows us to use tools like Automatic Multicam. We could rearrange our scenes to, move people around if we need to. The only downside with Zoom is it gives you pretty much just a conference call, a baked-in file of all the speakers. So let me pull up a quick Zoom recording that I did. I don't think I had anyone in this. It was just a screen recording and myself. But you can see it shows my screen and my face all the way in the corner there. So there's not much I could do with this. I could maybe crop this in, to show my face, but you're a bit limited in regards to editing the visuals. But there are certain workarounds that you can use. But as far as the Zoom integration itself, if you have a Zoom account, you could easily import your recordings into Descript. So all you need to do is go to Project, and we're going to go to Files and then Import from Zoom. So I already have my account connected, but if you don't, it'll ask you to log in and get your credentials in here. And basically, any of your cloud recordings in Zoom can be imported right into Descript. So hopefully that helps.
And I think if you're recording directly to your computer, you might be able to record each video individually on Zoom. The quality will probably not be as high as something like Rooms or Squadcast when we are using these higher quality recordings. But the automatic multicam in those cases would work the same. But automatic multicam right now requires multiple tracks, does it not? Like you need multiple camera angles. You need multiple videos in order to switch between. But there are some workarounds. Let's say you only have one track. You can add like an image track or a different video track if you want to switch it to that one or something.
Yeah. That's a great workaround. There's always a way.
There's always a way.
There's a will.
And we just gotta, hello everyone. Hello.
Welcome.
So we don't have any new questions at this time. I thought we could demo a quick project and just do some editing. We in the past have done a similar demo pretty much every week, and hopefully that generates some questions. We thought we would try something a little bit different from this one, and maybe moving forward where we would demo different types of projects and just show what a general Descript editing workflow looks like and see if that generates any kinds of questions. So we have a project. Which project are you pulling up here?
I thought it'd be fun to work on an avatar project.
Cool.
So let me pull one up here that I was working on earlier. So this is pretty basic. All I've done so far is just input a really short script. I assigned an avatar.
What is this script?
It's pretty good. So we're going to go on a journey together. So I haven't edited this at all. So I thought it'd be fun to go through what Trevor and I would typically do. Or if
do you want to play this and show what we have so far?
Let's go. Make this a little bit larger.
Inside the living room of a suburban home, a wife is talking to her husband. He is in his early 70s, smartly dressed in a grey suit. He has a full head of thick white hair, which he covers with a trilby hat. Wife speaks to her husband. Well, don't you look smart, Reggie? Go on now.
It looks pretty good.
What is this script? What is this script?
I think I just asked Claude to create a quick narration about I don't even remember. I pulled it from the drafts. It's from the drafts.
Okay. So this is well, what are we doing here? Are we going to make basically a little narrative story? This seems like a narrative.
Yeah.
It seems like this avatar is telling us a story, and we're going to add some, I imagine, some B-roll, maybe some captions, some other layers. We'll play around with this.
Exactly.
Take us through this journey.
Take us through. Let's start at the very beginning. I created a new composition to sort of show, if you've never made an avatar before, it's really straightforward. So I'm going to switch on over to this new composition, and all I have so far is the script text that I pasted in. So if I play this, nothing's going to happen. And the way you enter your script is you enter write mode, and then you type or you paste your script in. And from here, we're going to assign a speaker so that the script can have someone narrating it. So I'm going to choose a stock speaker in this case. And let's go with Bradley. Once you've assigned that speaker, it'll immediately start generating. So after a few moments, we can hopefully hear the results. But with the magic of pre-production, this is what we get.
The living room.
And once this is done, to assign an avatar, you click on the speaker label again, and then you assign an avatar to that speaker. From here, you can upload an image. You could prompt something, describe, a person's face that you're going for. Or if you click this back button, we have the ability to choose one of our stock options. Let's just go with this one and assign that avatar. Right now, it's just going to be a static image, but once the script is done generating speech, you'll have the option to generate the avatar. And right now, we only have two options. We have Kling Avatar V2 or Kling V2 Pro. So you have some options to choose there, as well as Avatar Attitude. This gives it just a little bit more personality if you're looking for a friendly demeanor, professional demeanor, so on and so forth. And then you would just click generate. It does take a while to generate avatars, so that's why I did it beforehand.
Smart.
Yeah, magic of TV.
The magic of TV. Just like those cooking shows where they have it all ready for you.
Here's my lasagna, my 6-layer lasagna.
Whoa, how'd you do that in 2 minutes?
Magic. And there we are. Basically, once you generate the avatar, you'll just get this talking head that's gonna be synced up with your text to speech.
Inside the living room of a suburban home, a wife is talking to her husband.
So this by itself is great, but it's kind of boring. I feel like we could add some scenes here. We could add some visuals to really tell the story.
Some sound effects.
Some sound effects.
Some music.
Yeah,
maybe an intro card. Maybe we should do an intro card to start out. Like, what is the name of the story? What is the story? So what happens here? I want to wrap my head around where this goes.
I should have probably reviewed this beforehand, but I don't think it's really about anything.
Oh, okay. So wait, hold on. There's something about a taxi.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should just watch the whole thing.
Let's watch it. Let's do it.
Inside the living room of a suburban home, a wife is talking to her husband. He is in his early 70s, smartly dressed in a grey suit. He has a full head of thick white hair, which he covers with a trilby hat. Wife speaks to her husband. Well, don't you look smart, Reggie? Go on now. Don't you worry about me. I'll be fine. Reggie replies to his wife in a London accent. You know I don't like to leave you alone for too long, my love. Man pauses, and the woman speaks. I know, but this is the biggest event of the year for you, Reggie. Your annual taxi drivers reunion. You've been attending it for over 25 years now, and you've never missed one yet. The man replies reluctantly. All right, I'll go, but I won't be late. Woman speaks. Don't fret, Reggie dear. Why don't you take a taxi? You said they'd be talking about driverless taxis at the reunion tonight, didn't you? So why don't you take one yourself? Then you'll have some experience of it to tell your mates about it, won't you? Reggie replies, shuddering at the prospect. What would me mates think? Hey, Reggie's gone over to the dark side, they might tease. I do wonder how the subject will be discussed at the reunion. It's bound to be on the agenda. Woman sits and starts tapping at her laptop. See, I found their service app. Let me confirm it. AI taxis, I think they call themselves.
So this is about
A
he's
taxi
going
driver? I feel like
and
it's
Waymos
Waymos, yeah.
and Waymos coming into this
Steal
is
his job.
bizarre. I mean, this is the anti Waymo, or maybe he converts to being a Waymo lover. He works for
Maybe
Waymo. I don't know.
he becomes the Waymo.
This is a crazy story. It's just like they're just basically talking about him leaving for the
Yeah.
taxi convention, the annual taxi convention.
There was,
It seems like her voice keeps switching between them because it's not sure who's talking.
yeah, it's not quite consistent there.
We did have a quick question about
Mhm.
avatars. Can I pick an anime avatar though? This is a good question. We want to show again some of the avatar options that we have.
So I'm going to switch back to here and then click on the speaker label. Let's change this avatar that I've assigned for Bradley. You can we recommend using a human-like face. I think that's what works best for avatar generations. You might see some weird things or some mixed results, hallucinations if you use anything other than that. But if it's human-like, I would, you can certainly try it. But we have some options here on our stock library. So we have this.
I think there's a style that you can choose. That might be what you need.
Yeah, let's go back and
if you create a custom one and then go to the style, there are, if you browse all styles, I think there is like a specific,
anime.
there's literally anime. So you can choose, I don't know, what do you want to use for the, what anime style? What 7 pens? Do you want to give us a specific type of character that we can generate?
That I can type in. It'll be fun to try.
I don't watch a ton of anime. Do you watch a lot of anime?
I started getting into it. I never
yeah?
was. Yeah, I've been slowly.
What are you watching right now?
Watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
That's a pretty popular one, I think. Blue Eyed Samurai on Netflix is amazing.
Okay.
That's a short one too. That's an easy one to get into.
Okay.
What if
I like the Miyazaki's films? I like to see.
Oh yeah, there we go.
What if we do like a pirate? Because like I like my favorite is Laputa, the Castle in the Sky, where they have like the pirate. Can we create like a steampunk pirate?
Ooh, steampunk pirate
with a metal arm.
Metal
arm
and
goggles.
And goggles. And goggles.
Well, so they have an eye patch and goggles?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We'll find out.
We'll find out soon enough.
This is not that is my, I don't know what that means.
Profile picture?
Oh, that is my profile picture.
Let's give that a moment to. So we're generating an image first, and that image is going to be used to generate the avatar. So it's sort of a two-step process here. We're using Nano Banana to create this character, and then we're going to assign that image as the avatar. So pretty cool. We're generating.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so we have.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Oh, remove the link. Yeah, if you try and post a link in the chat, I have no idea how to toggle that off, but I guess it doesn't allow links, unfortunately. But that is, I don't know how to fix that. But if you have I don't know how to better get that. If you DM us on Discord or something, we can do that. Yeah. If you're in the Discord, you can find us and then DM us or something, and maybe we can pull it up. So if you have a question, that is something we're totally able to do. If you do have a specific question or project, because links can't be posted in the YouTube chat, we are happy to get a DM on Discord or something, and then we can work from there. Work with a specific project. If you're comfortable, we can pull up the project here.
Oh,
A 90s anime girl avatar, Lisa Hayes from Robotech. Does that mean anything to you?
not particularly, but that sounds cool. That
It
does
does
sound
sound
cool.
cool. But you can create something like that.
Yeah.
You can create anime characters. You can create cartoon characters. It just will tend to look like this with the framing. It'll have like the sort of chest up. It won't usually like anything more frame wise through that won't really work. Like I know in the video on the avatar or our help center article, it has like a bear, which is a pretty large frame there. So it can do that as long as it is sort of human like.
Yeah.
The fire hydrant is the famous one that we're never getting rid of, as far as I
What's
know.
what is his name again?
Fire hydrant. I don't know.
Wasn't there a name for
We
him?
have a name.
Hydri? I forgot.
Yeah, maybe.
It's you can play around with it. Like I mentioned earlier, if it's not human-like, so I did come across one where it was like an animated robot, and the actual avatar generated really well, but there were Mandarin subtitles that we couldn't get rid of. So you might run into weird hallucinations like that. So, so I might even reprompt this to get rid of the hand to keep it down. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Sort of a profile head-on picture. We'll do best here. But there you are. Pretty fun stuff.
Awesome. So we can go back to our original project, and it sounds like they'll reach out to us on Discord if they have a specific question or on anything. But yeah, keep the questions coming. Happy to answer. Happy to have a live sort of back and forth conversation on this. But we have our project here. We have this avatar. Is this the avatar? I guess this is the one we're using. But we will add more elements to this to make it a little bit more dynamic than just an animated person talking to the screen.
Yes, we're gonna spice this up with all this.
We are gonna spice it up. What's your favorite spice?
Probably oregano.
Oregano. Very cool.
Meatballs, salads, spaghetti, but
the best foods.
The best foods. All right, so let's add an intro card. I'm gonna expand my timeline here. You can sort of see the nuts and bolts of what's happening. Basically, this is just our script track here, and the avatar is attached to that, so you're not going to really see it as a layer on the timeline. And I think that's good because that could lead to some trouble. But we're just going to add a new scene at the very beginning. I'm going to click this plus button. So now I have this gap clip that's been inserted, and it's basically just a placeholder so that I can add layers on top of it, since there's not going to be any speech here. So let's adjust this and make it about 8 seconds long, just because that feels right to me. And we'll just add a little title layout here. So I could certainly build this. I could go to elements. I could add a text element, but we have some layouts that we could choose from to get us started here. So let's see if we could choose one here. Intro.
Yeah, let's choose one of those.
Default intro feels like it makes sense.
Default intro, avatar test. And it what just happened there? You didn't type that in.
I didn't type that. I didn't do anything. So what happened was a lot of our layouts have what's called a smart fill. So basically it analyzes the script and fills in the text elements using context. So basically it named my title for me based on the project title, and it gave a quick little subtitle. Reggie faces the rise of driverless taxis. So that's pretty much what we summed up to. But yeah, you can always edit this, just double clicking on it, change it up however you want. So I'm going to change this from avatar test to Reggie versus Waymo. So let's go ahead and play this back. Okay. So I feel like this needs some music. Let's add a little music to this. We're going to go to media. So this is our stock media library. And from here, we can switch over to audio. I feel like I want something kind of industrial. It's not quite industrial, but let's immediately yes. So I'm going to add this one and just drag it over my scene like so.
It's such an intense story. Reggie versus Waymo. This
Reggie.
makes it sound like Reggie is going to storm like, into traffic to fight a Waymo, which is way
Waymo
more
headquarters.
interesting than this story. I know you didn't write the story.
I didn't. So, yeah, in case Waymo's watching, I'm going to change the spelling to Waymo.
Waymo. Oh, it's a protein. It's the protein.
It's a protein, yeah.
It's auto driving protein mobile.
Got to get your macros in.
Those macros. Macros won't nutrient themselves.
Yep. That's right. All right, so it imported this audio file onto my script, and you can see it spans the entire project now, and I don't want that. So what I can do, there's a couple things. If I zoom out of my timeline to get a view of all the layers, I can just grab the edge of that clip and just trim it to this first scene. Alternatively, I'm going to undo that. We could use the blade tool, or the keyboard shortcut's going to be B. So I'm going to click on this layer and click B, and I could slice that up. You could also do S to split. So there's a lot of ways to do that. I'm going to use that and just delete the rest of this. All right. So looking good. I have a feeling this is going to be loud. So if you click on any layer and head to properties, you can see some parameters you can adjust. So in this case, I'm just going to lower that volume down to 30%.
Inside the living room of
Pretty cool. All right, so let's actually extend that a little bit into the intro narration, and let's fade it out. With audio files and even visuals, if you hover over the edge of a clip, you'll have this white dot appear, and you could click and drag that to fade that element. So I'm just going to fade it out and fade it in as well.
inside the living room of suburban home.
Looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good so far.
All right, so moving on, I can sort of read through the script and add some scenes where I think would be cool to add some B-roll. But you know what? I feel confident. I'm gonna ask Underlord to help me out with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask Underlord, read through my script and add any relevant scene markers. Don't make any edits. Got to be specific. So I just want him to divide it for us.
And I would have even maybe just said add scene markers where you think there could be B-roll added. But this should do that for us. Underlord will kind of understand what we're trying to like it already is telling us the script has a natural flow with distinct sections, so it's going to add those scene markers from there, but you can get more granular with your prompts as well.
Yes, it's definitely trial and error, and
that's crazy. It did that within seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, wife encourages Reggie. Reggie responds. So these are great. This feels pretty good. Reggie relents. Wife proposes trying a driverless taxi. Wife finds the app and confirms it. Okay, great. All right, so now that we have this sort of divided, we have these scenes now in our project. You could also see it in our script, these scene boundaries. And just to show the layouts again, I'm going to click on this first one here where, actually this one. I still want to have the avatar present for this scene, and maybe we'll add some B-roll. So let's find something where it's media related. There we go, media. This one that feels good right here, B-roll overlay.
Yeah.
There we go. So now I have this placeholder here that I could replace with media. So let's generate an image.
Do you want to generate it or find it?
Oh,
We'll generate one.
No, we'll generate this first one. Living room of a suburban home. So this pops up the generate media tool when I clicked on that add media button. So that's really cool. If you click on a placeholder, you could import a file from your project files or generate media. So right now I'm just going to generate an image. But yeah, if anyone else has questions as you're watching this, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We're happy to demo anything or try something out.
And while we wait also for this to generate, maybe right after this, we can show how to use the context context clues. What are they called now in Underlord? Context? Is it just context? Is it just called context?
It might be.
Yeah, just when to add the next one, we can add it through Underlord and be specific. But here we go.
All right, so these look pretty good. Let's find one that I really like. Ooh, I like the dog there. There we go. So I could turn this into a video. I could reuse that prompt or replace the layer. So let's just replace that layer to insert it into our
This
scene.
is where they live. This is where Reggie and wife. Does his wife have a name?
Nope.
Just wife?
Just wife.
Brilliant, I guess.
I'll have a new script next week. Don't you worry.
Okay, we'll have a new one about the ocean being purple.
Exactly. Okay, so that feels pretty good. So context. Let's have Underlord. Are you thinking just for one scene, or
Like for the next scene? Yeah, like okay. How can we ask Underlord specifically for the next scene?
Yeah, so this would be. I like to get into the numbers just to make sure that it's not going to make any mistakes. So I'm looking at scene 3 here for this next section. For scene 3, generate B-roll. Generate a video to match the contents of that scene.
But you know the context, right?
I haven't played with it yet. No.
So it's the @ button on the bottom part, and you can choose the current scene.
This is working.
Just to make sure that there's no error.
That is cool.
Prompt. And so you don't even need that for scene 3. It's just generate a video to match the contents.
That's super cool.
And we could even just say this, and then we don't even need to reference the scene because we are specifically referencing scene 3. Supposedly this should work.
I'm excited. This is really cool. This would be a game changer.
Already says, let's see what scene 3 contains.
All right.
Wife speaks to her husband.
I'm feeling good about this. Okay. Generate a video of a wife speaking warmly to her husband in a living room setting.
I wonder what the model is going to be.
Yeah.
It's probably, is it going to be cinematic? You like the cinematic one, so it's probably going to be there.
It knows me. It knows me so well.
We have a call out for this. I have to confess, I've been completely scared of using Underlord to make these kinds of changes. Afraid it will do something I need to spend a lot of time to recover from. This is a great call out, and we can show you, once this generates, we'll show you two things that we can do. Well, I guess one thing, which is rollback.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other is basically just doing this manually instead of using Underlord, as you were saying, to prevent this. We're just demonstrating what you can do. And I think the action that we're doing, Underlord, you don't even need to do. But for some things, saying, in this scene, I want to apply a bunch of different things, and asking Underlord to do it, it can do it for you.
Yeah, and if you do get in a pickle where you're sort of beyond command-ing yourself out of it, we do have version history, which takes a snapshot of your edits.
That's so the other way.
The other way.
The other rollback.
Version history right here. So I'll just wait for this so I can properly show you. I don't want to interrupt Underlord here. Another thing that I see a lot of people do is making duplicates of their compositions. So, you know, you have sort of a, if you're at a spot that you like it and you want to make sure that it's left untouched, you can just click on the composition and duplicate it so it makes a new copy that you can work out of. But yeah, that is a great question. We'll get to a day when generating media is going to be much quicker.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe.
or slower. We don't know.
Yeah. Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up
Okay.
and wait, for sure.
Yeah.
It is generating it based on not a very big prompt, so I don't know, a lot more thinking. And also we're streaming and sharing our screen, all those things. All right, here we go. Oh my.
Why? That's very realistic. Okay, cool.
All right, let's watch this.
Let's play it back.
Wife speaks to her husband. Well, don't you look smart, Reggie?
You are doing wonderful.
Go on now.
Just keep going.
Don't you worry about me. I'll be fine.
That
So there's
is
audio.
terrifying.
It's very scary. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and open up our timeline because I don't want audio to play from that generated video. So if we open up our timeline, we'll sort of see that video clip that was generated and inserted here. And if I click on it, we can go to properties and just mute. That way, we'll just leave the narration to do the speaking for us.
Speaks to her husband. Well, don't you look smart, Reggie? Go on now. Don't you worry about me. I'll be fine. Reggie replies to his wife.
Cool. So let me show you the version history up top here. So it's going to be File and Version History. From here, you can see all of your past revisions for this project. So in my case, we just started working on this today. So I can roll back to the very beginning here, which was about a month ago. Or if it's something pretty recent, you would click on it. This would give you a preview of what the edit looked like. And then you would click Restore to get to that version of the project. There we are. Okay, so yeah, I'll keep that in. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so I feel like we could spruce this up with some animations and transitions. The neat thing about scenes is in between your scenes, while they could just be kept completely static, you can also add transitions. So for example, this intro card.
Inside the living room.
Looks like there's a smart transition there, but if we want to edit that, we can click on this little button to edit the transition. And let's do a little, ooh, I like the shake.
Nice.
Inside the living room of...
Nice.
Shake it up.
Shake it up.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. So let's add a sound effects there too. Let's do a whoosh. Swoosh.
Oh, whoosh.
Whoosh. Swoosh.
Your
No?
music.
Oh, the music. That's
We have to
right.
go to the sound effects.
There
We have
go.
so many different whooshes.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I'm committed to that one. I'm just gonna drag that in just slightly before that. There we go. I'm going to position this a little bit in between these two scenes. That way it's just timed just right.
Inside the living room of...
Whoa, cool.
Wow.
Cinematic. Cool. So like I did earlier, I'm clicking on this layer and I'm just going to bring that down just a tiny bit because it's a little loud.
He's smartly dressed in a grey suit. He has a full head of thick smart, Reggie. Go on now. F and a London accent. You know I don't like to leave you alone for too long, my love. Man pauses, and the woman...
All right. So let's go ahead and just keep editing this. I feel like this would be helpful to have captions. That way we could read along. If you haven't added captions before, it's super easy. We're going to go to the right tab here and then click on captions where you can choose a style. Let's try something new. I typically go for the karaoke one word, but let's find something. Oh, that's kind of neat. Let's do the circle waveform and apply that.
Inside the living room of a suburban home, a wife is talking to her husband. He is in his early 70s, smartly dressed.
I like that.
Yeah. This looks good.
It's shaping
We
up.
do have about 10 minutes left. It doesn't look like we'll be able to finish the edit by this time because there's definitely more to add here. But are there any finishing touches for the moment that we want to add? Um, and if we have any questions, we can definitely take those as the priority. But well, what do we want to add in the meantime?
Yeah, I feel like time just flew by. This is
It did.
fun to
It did.
work on something new. Yeah, this just sort of showcased the different ways you can generate, a video from absolutely nothing, just from a
Basically,
script
yeah.
or an idea. We have a lot of tools, stock media. We have generative media they could use to just, take that idea and bring it to life. But, we definitely want to showcase what people like to see. So if people have ideas for the kinds of projects they want to see, definitely let us know so we can get stuff prepared because we like to try new things as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think, should we bring up the telethon again? Make sure people are aware that it's going to be crazy fun.
Yeah, let's bring that up. Let's have that brought up here. Let me see if I can get a specific. Maybe we could show the video real quick.
Yeah, that'd be fun. This is going to be something completely new for us, so it's
very. Is this it? Is it just that video? That's the one. One moment. I'm just. We didn't have this prepped, but we should.
My apologies.
We didn't have this prepped.
It's gonna be worth it.
Here, I'm going to send this over to you. If you want to share your screen, we can show this for those of us who are here.
All right, share this tab instead. Okay, is this popping up?
Yes.
There we go. Ooh. Okay.
And we're back. Thanks for tuning in. Every year, thousands of customer voices go unheard. Tickets go unanswered. I'm excited to share with you the first ever annual Customer Obsession Telethon Hackathon. Cue lights! Picture a PBS telethon, like the kind they do after a natural disaster or after the government takes away all of their money. But the donations are bug fixes and features suggested by our very own customers. Over 2 days, we'll bring in a mix of pre-prepared and real-time customer feedback with a few live customer moments sprinkled in. Oh, and we'll be live streaming the whole thing. We'll feature our customers, we'll feature teams, and of course, we'll feature me, accompanied by piano. Okay, probably just a maybe on that one. Look, this is honestly gonna be a little bit of controlled chaos and a ton of fun. So get excited, the phones are about to start ringing. Hello? No, sorry, wrong number.
There we go. Controlled chaos is right.
Controlled chaos. And I think the fun of it is there's 2 days of this, and we got all sorts of fun entertainment and also just a lot of good knowledge and a lot of cool stuff, a lot of chances to see product team and engineers talking about what we're building and a chance to talk to us again, but we're here all the time. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's on YouTube. I can link to the first day as well of when that is, but that the page for submitting feature requests is closed at this point, but you can still upvote on things and see what we are going to build. Oh,
Yeah.
another thing that wasn't mentioned in that one is we are donating for, is it for every feature that's released or something?
Yeah, everything that's fixed or released. Yep.
Then we are donating to charity. I believe it is the Sierra Club. Is that the final?
Yes, that is the chosen one.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So it not only are we doing good for Descript, we are doing good for the world.
Yeah,
To charity, yay.
exactly. Getting our feedback in, so that's going to be good.
Cool. Well, that might just about do it for this one. We will rest our voices and our faces for when we are back on for the telethon. That rhymed. I didn't even mean that
was
to.
really good. We'll catch you there.
Catch you there. All right. Well, have a great rest of the Tuesday, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. It's Descript. If you need